What's up, y'all? Sparta here. This is auto video, well, in the basic mode on the One Mark III. I'm just showing you guys the differences between how things look between the basic video mode and the Cinema Pro video mode. So, yeah, on the One Mark III, obviously, I just wanted to make sure I said that again. And the main reason I'm doing this is because when I put out the initial video when I was talking about the video on the One Mark III, I obviously used the Cinema Pro mode and I didn't go to the basic mode and use the regular video mode to show you guys what that does. The regular video mode just goes up to 4K 30, which is a very smooth 4K 30, I'll tell you. Was this the 30s? Yeah, it's very smooth, no real problems there. Pretty windy day out. It's not horrendously windy, but this is also good to test things like the wind reduction that they have on this phone, which I believe is quite good. So yeah, stabilization I don't feel is as strong as something like the V60, but I do feel like does quite a good job handheld. Not the best I've had, but far from the worst. And it's far from something like a jittery mess that tends to be the S21 Ultra at times. So I'll get into the Cinema Pro video in a second, and I'll show you guys a couple different filters from there as well, just to show you what that looks like. But I'm going to go, I guess, a little bit down over there. Another thing you can do when you're in this mode is you can zoom in up to 3x zoom. It's a digital crop, obviously, from the main sensor, but I'm guessing enable to get the other lenses to record while zooming. You just have to switch into those lenses basically like every other phone. So yeah, very nice looking. You don't get HDR in 4K 30, or not, in 4K 30 you do, in 1080p 60, so that's something you're gonna have to deal with. Honestly though, I do feel these colors are pretty nice. I don't necessarily think it's the worst thing in the world that you don't have HDR, but I'll switch to 4K 30 here real quick. Okay, so this is the 4K 30 HDR mode and the basic video mode on the Xperia One Mark III. And honestly, it looks quite nice, not gonna lie. You can switch it to be off or on. They give you that option, unlike other manufacturers that just don't give you the option at all, like Samsung or Apple. But honestly, I think this looks quite good. I wouldn't necessarily say that this is the best out there in terms of the overall look, but I feel like with the sun literally right over me, Sony is doing a very good job of making sure it's not overly contrasted and things like that, overly exposed, and to me that's quite nice. So I'm going to go over to the Cinema Pro app right now and show you guys a few features, a few of the looks on there that you can get, and here we go. Okay, so this is 4K 60 in the Cinema Pro app, no filter applied whatsoever. Looks very nice. I really don't have any sort of issues with that. Obviously, you had to do stuff like stop down the shutter speed before you start recording, and able to make things like the sun be able to be visible and all that stuff. But overall, I do feel this is very nice looking. I really have no sort of issues with that. Obviously, things like, say, that tree in the background looks a little bit funky, but I don't necessarily think any phone will do that good that far, so that's something that I don't necessarily feel is that big of a deal. So let me go into a different mode here just to show you guys a different look, just to show you guys how that looks. Okay, so this is the bright filter, or look. And this is one of the ones I tend to like a little bit more because it tends to look pretty nice. It doesn't look the best out there or anything like that. It looks pretty clean, pretty good. And these are the kind of looks that they put in the phone that you get from their Cine Alta cameras and all that stuff, their cinema line of cameras. So that's very nice to have on a phone, and it looks quite good. I don't really have any sort of issues with how this looks whatsoever. So yeah, let me go to a different look here. This is their Venice look, and this looks pretty much like it did in that initial video that I put out, where it looks a bit more grayish. This is what they tend to use, I guess, for the cinema line quite a bit, and this looks quite good. It looks good. It's an acquired taste, I do feel, but nonetheless, I think this is pretty nice looking. And you know, whatever. If you don't want these kind of looks, all you got to do is scroll down to the NA and you'll take that out. I personally feel this filter is best when it's already a contrasty day and it's gray already. For a sunny day like this, I think the NA or even the bright filter will look the best in these kind of situations. So let me go to one more. So this is the Opaque Filter, and I keep calling it filter. Look, pretty much the same thing, but whatever. And this is like Sony Venice, or the Venice filter, but it looks a little bit more brownish, I guess, a little bit more warm than it does when you look at things like the Venice filter, obviously. And I don't mind this one either. This one looks pretty nice. So yeah, that's all I really wanted to show you guys here. I just wanted to show you that you can get something that looks very nice on this phone. You just have to work towards it a little bit. And if you don't want to do that, just use 4K 30 or 1080p 60 on this phone, and it'll look very good. It'll look pretty much on par with any other phone on the market. This is Sparta. Thank you guys for watching and support. I hope you guys have a wonderful, Jesus Christ, Tuesday, whatever time of day it is in your area. These weeks have been going by pretty quick. Have a good one.